It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck.
Well, a lot of good basketball and a lot of chalk in the big schools yesterday. State tournament, Cleveland, the top seed, advances. Third seed, Las Cruces. Fourth seed, Atrisco Heritage moves on, but good hoops throughout the state as it's a odd state tournament here as we are now in May. Good morning to you. They tossed a lot of weight around at the football stadium last night at the Night of Champions. That's a success as well. And we are a day away from opening day. Professional sports will be back in Albuquerque, New Mexico tomorrow. What's good? It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. How you living, man?
Living good, rolling through the week, excited for everything that's on deck, and cannot wait for some baseball and everything else this weekend is going to bring.
Yeah, it's going to, you got United back on the road this weekend. Isotopes will open up Isotopes Park tomorrow. And actually, I told you this for gosh, I can't tell you how long, but just looking forward to being at the ballpark tomorrow and having them back on the radio. 8 o'clock this morning, Josh Sushan is going to join us, the voice of the Isotopes, back in the Burque, and he will be with us to talk about the roster. And I just catch up with him. He's been on a little bit of a journey. Of course, Josh has been, with the uncertainty of everything going on, he was in Reno. He called the University of Nevada women's basketball and also called he's calling UNR baseball. And so we'll catch up with him and look at the roster. And then at 9 o'clock, Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks is going to be with us to talk about the state basketball tournament, which you got a good look at last night. You had a girls' game last night, correct?
Volcano Vista La Cueva, the 2-7 matchup, and the 2-seed Hawks left no doubt. They ran away with the contest, outscored the Bears 16-3 in the first quarter, and it was never in doubt after that. It was a tremendous 58-24 win for the Hawks.
All right, and we'll go through the brackets on the girls' side. The boys' side last night, Cleveland beat Santa Fe, top seed Cleveland in the big school, 60-49. They will play Atrisco Heritage, who got by Sandia last night, 70-55. Third seeded defending champion Las Cruces, down in Las Cruces, beat Los Lunas, 46-38. They'll advance to play Carlsbad, the 7th seed, who advanced when Roswell. I'm sorry, they'll play Roswell, who advanced when Carlsbad could not play because of a COVID positive. So that's your semifinals now set. In the 5A, 4A boys, Del Norte beat Highland, low-scoring game, 43-30 last night. That's the top-seeded Knights. They will next play Española, who beat Kirtland Central, 62-40. Third-seeded Gallup was a winner and a good one, 70-67 over Bernalillo. They will take on second-seeded Artesia, 76-58. They beat Silver yesterday. So a lot of chalk in the quarterfinal round of, and look, I think that was probably to be somewhat expected. You see a lot of upsets on the neutral site games. These were home games with crowds now too. And I don't think, although you had a lot of close games, I don't know that there's a lot of surprises in there.
Not a lot of surprises in that bracket at all. There's a couple throughout that stand out. The game of the day was down in Los Lunas, 5A girls basketball, where the Tigers beat Cleveland in double overtime, 55-48. And that was a game that was without fans. So the best game of the day did not have the atmosphere in that contest. Cleveland started the game, they were up 16-2, and it was a fantastic back and forth battle, at least from what I was following as I was getting ready to call the Hawks game, because Los Lunas is one of the teams that's so interested in, they're won state 3 times in a row as a 4A school. Now they're up in 5A. They have a senior backcourt, Mia Guest, Duda Hohola, who are really good players, and they really held Doodle in check. Did Cleveland only 2 points, but then in both overtime periods, she comes out and scores 15 points. And that sets up a fantastic game against undefeated Hobbs, the Hobbs team who ran the Tigers out the building to start the season. But a lot of factors involved when you go back to game 1. And then Eldo coming off beating undefeated Centennial down in Cruces, traveling back up to face the Hawks tomorrow. Should be fantastic semifinals.
Yeah, so that's where you are. Happy Cinco de Mayo to you, by the way. Yesterday was Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And, of course, today, Cinco de Mayo, so enjoy that responsibly, of course. This came down late yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, and we're switching over to the NBA since we're staying with basketball, though. As you watch the Lakers and Anthony Davis come back and look really good to beat the Nuggets the other day, and they're all right, and LeBron will be back, and everything's going to be fine. LeBron's probably going to miss at least 2 more, and they say at least 2 more. They play the Clippers on Thursday, and then they play Portland on Friday. It's that right ankle, and he missed 20 games this year with the ankle injury, and the LA Times is quoting people with knowledge of the injury who were not authorized to speak publicly, whoever that may be. So it's an injury that he re-injured on Monday, forced to leave, missed the final minutes of the game against Toronto. He went to an ankle specialist this week. They say he is going to be cautious and waiting for the team to hold a practice before he can return. And obviously, with games every other night, they're not doing a lot of practicing. JJ, that's obviously incredibly significant. As good as they may have looked to beat the Nuggets the other night with Anthony Davis, they are not going to win the championship, I do not believe, without LeBron James. And I'm not sure they will win it with him. But this is real. And this is a guy who, the last 3 years now, this would be in the last 3 seasons, has had 2 significant injuries. He'd been basically injury-free, or at least didn't miss games because of injury. To say injury-free would probably be inaccurate. But a guy who was incredibly durable. And look, who's unbeaten? Now, did Father Time sprain his ankle? I don't know, but whatever. It takes a little longer when you get in your mid-30s to recover from any injury than it does in your mid-20s. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, but this is incredibly significant to the landscape of the NBA.
It does play a little bit of a factor, and with LeBron James, we're all waiting for, he's going to be fine. He's the guy that we're not worried about. He's going to come back. He's going to be good. Been there, done that. We've seen it before with LeBron. Once he gets to the postseason, he's that dude. And there's a little hesitation now. There has to be, just honestly, with where he's at right now in his career, to your point on even the best medical care and attention that he gives to his body, things are still different when you're in your late 30s trying to get back to being the best basketball player in the world. And for the Lakers in this situation, that concern level still has to be high, because without LeBron James, they're just another good team in the West. They're not a championship team in the West, and that's going to be the difference here, because I think all of us, whether you're a LeBron guy or not, are going to see that guy on the floor and go, okay, we're going to give them the chance. We're going to believe that they're still the favorites to get this done. But the more he's off the court, the further this goes in the season. We're shrinking games, 5-6 games left for a lot of these teams. And then if somehow, some way they do fall, you need a couple extra games, 2 or 3, to get into the playoffs. It's things you do not want to see if you're the Lakers. You're on mute, Jeff.
And it does bring the play-in tournament back into play, because they've got the Clippers coming up, who are playing for something. They've got Portland after that, and they've got games that matter in front of them that they've got to figure out a way to win. And so this is significant news that you're going to be able to watch as the Lakers play. There's, I believe, 7 games left, so they got. And look, their schedule, while not brutal down the stretch, it's LA. They play the Clippers in Portland, then they get Phoenix and the Knicks, who are playing well. Houston's not, and they close out at Indiana and out at New Orleans. New Orleans may be playing for something, probably not at that point. So keep an eye on that, but I think that's significant to watch in the National Basketball Association. I want to get through the night of champions. I want to get into the night. The night of baseball was really interesting. If you're a Dodger fan, it might be time to be concerned. And I know you're going to somewhat scoff at that, but I don't know that that's scoffable. Their pitching is not really good, and if Clayton Kershaw is not going to be good, and I think that was just a one-day blip. But we'll get into that. The Cubs swept the Dodgers yesterday. What happened in Yankee Stadium was something certainly to take notice of as well. Here's the phone number to get in: 505-246-0610, area code 505-246-0610. Emails: jeff@sportsanimалabq.com, jj@sportsanimалabq.com, on the Twitter _JJ Buck, and on the Facebook, the OD in the AM. You can watch the show there. Erin's producing for you for ProView Networks on the TV side. Stephanie looks like she's riding solo. She's got her arms crossed. She's like got this little her technique. I'm going. She goes left arm high, right arm low, ready to hit two buttons at one time and take your calls on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Titus and Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces
for your business or your home. Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer Zero for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Hey, are you a like when you go to Starbucks? Are you what do you order? Do you know? Like, are you a super mega fancy whippy drink guy? Like, what do you order? What do you order?
Nitro cold brew, light sweet cream. Finish.
Okay, I guess that's more than 3 words. Steph, what do you order at Starbucks? Like, do you go through? Because I usually just get like medium. I don't even know their sizes. Medium coffee. But what do you get? Sometimes iced.
I usually get a caramel macchiato.
Okay, caramel. That's 2 words. Yeah. All right. Somebody just sent me this. He's like, this is ridiculous. Here's Edward's order. Now I don't know if it's that Edward. VT caramel crunch frap. What does VT mean? Would that mean for VT?
Venti.
Okay, Venti caramel crunch frap. 5 bananas, extra caramel drizzle, extra whip, extra ice, extra cinnamon dollop top, 7 pumps, add dark caramel sauce, extra caramel crunch, 1 pump honey blend, extra salted BTR, whatever that is, 5 pumps of frap roast coffee, 7 added frap chips, heavy cream double blended. I'm sorry, that person needs to be slapped. I'm not going to tell you how to order your coffee, but there's no way they get that order right, because there's going to be only 8 chips or 6 chips have added something, and he's going to send it back. Because if that's your order, something's going to be wrong, right? There's not going to be enough cinnamon dollop in there. Look at this thing as I show you this. That's the label on there.
Yeah, that's a picture that was going around the internet over the weekend.
Is that right?
How does it all fit in the cup?
If I get the venti.
It's got to get the venti. That's the big one. I had not seen that. I didn't realize that was on the going everywhere. So, really? All right. I was right behind that guy probably every single time ordering my.
Why is it taking so long? Well, I'm counting out the amount of ice in this cup.
Yeah, I need 7 cubes. Can I get a medium iced coffee, please? All right, 505-246-06. My apologies for missing it all over the internet.
That's all right. It was just the thing that people were making fun of on social media over the weekend.
I just now saw it.
Because of how ridiculous it was. And I would like to say, correction on my end, Cleveland Los Lunas played at Cleveland. The last story I had read was the Tigers offered to move that game to New fans, and the decision hadn't been made yet. They made it. So shout out to Los Lunas, though. The higher seed in that game going to Cleveland's place with fans, and Marty Zeller making that decision. The team still coming out on top in double overtime.
Yeah, and by the way, you can't be everywhere. so I'll give you that. It's what you had heard, and you can't be everywhere. All right, you didn't, obviously. I'm sure you got the highlights. Astros Yankees last night. It's going to be this way. Look, this may never end. By the way. And I know there's plenty of people saying it never should. The way the Astros are being received, it was their first trip to Yankee Stadium since the whole video sign stealing, trash can banging, cheating scandal. And while the core is there, Bregman, Correa, and Altuve, a lot of guys were not there, including Dusty Baker. But man, the Yankee fans will never forget. And Alex hit a home run in the first inning that, I don't know if it quieted the fans. It certainly ignited them. And he took his time getting around the base. Have you seen the highlight of that?
Yeah.
He was in no hurry. getting around the bases, and good for him. Look, they got to go through this every day, and I hear everybody telling me, and they're not wrong. They deserve it. They deserve it. Okay. But at some point, you're as a human being and as a competitor, you're like, okay, but I got to live this every day. I'm going to fight it back a little bit. 7-3, the Yankees beat the Astros. It was insanity, dude. And I don't know that ever changes when the Astros go to Yankee Stadium. Like, at least for the next 4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah, this is something that in the foreseeable future is always going to be there, especially last night, since that's the first time since 2017 the Astros have been to Yankee Stadium, so Yankee fans had to let their voices be heard. And it's the only way baseball fans feel like the Astros are going to get anything for that moment, because nothing happened to the players. And that's the thing. It's like you're sitting there every day, you're hearing it, you're taking it, you're a competitor, you want to go out there and say, and what? But nothing happened. You got World Series rings and you cheated. And everyone else got in trouble. Nothing happened to you.
Right.
So of course, these moments are going to be magnified. The fans showed up in force. There was a lot of creativity. I'll give them that, by the way. They had time to think about it. Yeah. So it wasn't just, oh, look, I'm holding a trash can. No, they were ready to go. So credit the Yankee fans with the creativity and the energy in that limited attendance Yankee Stadium was fantastic.
Well, that's why it's going to continue, because it's so limited attendance. Tonight's crowd are going to be a lot of people. It's their first time, and tomorrow's crowd going to be people it was their first time. I'm not looking for you to feel sorry. This is not how I intend this question or this statement. But what do you expect the players to do at this point? The Astros, like, okay, like they did it, they got caught. And you want them to punish themselves? Do you want them to give back their rings? They're not going to do it, nor would you. So, and they got to deal with this mess every single day. And I'm not sitting here telling you it's unwarranted, right? I'm not. But at some point, you're a human being. What are you going to do? Like at some point, you want to strike back. At some point, you're tired of this bleep. And they're a team that started yesterday 2 games out of first place, right around 500. Like, what do you expect them to do? And I hear plenty of people tell me, I don't give a damn. They did it. I got it. But if you were there, I wouldn't be in that position. I wouldn't cheat. Well, if you were brought up from the minor leagues, and this was going on in your team, you would have been the guy who said, guys, this is wrong. We can't do it. You as a rookie would have stopped it. You would have been a part of it too.
You did it.
No, they did it.
And that's the thing. It's what you got to do is if you want to use it as motivation, then go out there and do it. But forever, you're a cheater that won the World Series. Forever. And you can go out there and push back, but no one wants to hear you. And so that's the thing. And what can you do? Go out there and use it for motivation to win again. And I think that's the only way the Astros can push back, is just keep winning, because you got to take it. You got to own it. And I know Dusty Baker's in a tough position, but no one wants to care that you've moved on. Like no one's going to stop going, oh, you moved on? No, this is the one thing the fans have. The one thing, because baseball did not do a darn thing about it. Players in that clubhouse didn't do a thing about it. So you're gonna have to sit there and take it.
What would you do? What do you expect from players? What should the players do? Like if you were a player, you're one of those guys, and I know you plenty of people say I wouldn't have done it. Oh, okay, you got called up for the minors.
You got caught up in it, but now you just got to live with it.
No. But what would you do?
I'm sure, in that situation, you're coming up. You're like, oh, this is what they're doing? Well, then I'm going to be doing it. This is the Houston Astros. Okay, I'm in Major League Baseball. This is fantastic.
No, but now. So now here you are.
Now you go win games, and you got to use it for motivation, because you're the villains. And I don't care when you came up, what you did. You couldn't stop it. Y'all did it.
Yeah.
It happened. Much like everyone in doing steroids, oh, we're all shooting ourselves up. Okay, but now you just got to own it after the fact.
Yeah, I'm not excusing anything. I'm kind of looking at it in the here and now, right? To your point, well, the Astros say they've moved on. Well, that's great, but nobody else has, and so it's still going to exist, and I'm not telling you that's wrong. I'm just looking at it from the other side, because you always hear it. Well, they deserve it. They deserve it. These fans are pissed. These fans are pissed, and they're all right. Like none of them are not right. They don't. It's not like they don't have a right to be angry. I get it. That's the beauty of the game. So all that's fine. I'm just looking at the perspective of if you're a player on that team now, what would you do? How would you respond? And you know, I know people are going to say they don't have a right to be angry or whatever. Yeah, at some point they're human beings. How much do you have to take? And I know the answer is quite a bit.
All of it.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened to you. People are booing you. Like that's the worst thing that's happening to you.
Yeah, that's the worst thing that happened.
World Series champion. You got the rings. You're hanging the banners. You're in the record books.
Do you think they should penalize themselves? Should they give something back? Like as players themselves, would you if you were on that team, would you give back your World Series ring?
I don't think so, but I don't need to hear things like, oh, this isn't the same team, this or that. Like, just use it as motivation. Go, hey, we expect this in every city we go to. We're ready, and we're gonna use it to motivate us.
Yeah, and please, I'm not giving a woe is them kind of a look. I'm just trying to look at it through the other lenses I tend to do in most situations, and the one lens is obvious and accurate, but then there is the other side of it, and there's those guys, and okay, they were wrong and they cheated, but here they are. They took whatever Major League Baseball gave them, which was nothing, and it's well documented, well understood. I mean, I'm not sure that I would go and self-impose on myself. Oh, I should sit out.
No one's asking them to self-impose. They're just, I don't need to hear it. Dusty Baker was in a tough situation. I don't need to hear him like saying, oh, don't boo us anymore. We're not the same team, or the players worrying about it. It's one where this is your life. Use it. If you want to be the villains, you got to embrace that. That's who you are. Use it as motivation. You still have good players on that team. And if you want to push back, do it. If you want to run around the bases a little bit slower, you want to embrace it, okay, that is your way of pushing back.
Yeah, that's what you've got. I don't know that I've heard a lot come out of their mouths. Have you? Saying, oh, they shouldn't boo us or it's out of control. No, we get booed everywhere. I think they've
That's why I think I credit the players. Is they understand it at this point in time.
Yeah.
Like this is, even though it's like 2 years out, it's really year one for other fan bases, especially teams in which they beat on that run.
Directly. Yeah. Directly.
To just get the booze out of their system.
Yeah. And I haven't heard the players say, God, they're out of control or they should get over it. I have not heard that from them. Now, Dusty Baker said, we've moved on. That's great. That's great. And I think that's the good strategy for them. Let Dusty Baker do the speaking. By the way, I was going through the garage the other day. I found an old Dusty Baker on the cover of a Dodger, either yearbook or program from like 1970 something, whatever it was. I found a 1972 Sports Illustrated with Wilt Chamberlain on the cover. I found some gems in the garage yesterday. Yeah. All right. I'd love your thoughts on the Astros. What would you do? And easy on the, I would never be in that situation, Jeff. I wouldn't have done it. Okay. If you're above it, and I think that's cool. Let's just say you're a rookie, got called up midseason on that team, and it was going on. I'm going to assume you probably wouldn't have been the guy to say, well, gentlemen, we shouldn't do this. Say you got caught up in it, you did it. How would you handle it moving forward? Because I don't know that there's another way to do it besides the way they're handling it, and you just got to take it. I see Aaron. I'm kind of interested in what you say when we come back as well. 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. We'll ask Josh Sush on that at 8 o'clock, the voice of the Isotopes, as well as they get set to open up their season tomorrow. Hey, fellas, springtime, summertime, but more than anything, it's time to feel like you again. Gentlemen, if you are feeling sluggish, been regularly tired, maybe carrying a few extra pounds, or you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, New Male will help you feel like you again. Most likely you know this. As you age, things like fatigue, low T, ED, they're natural. There's a good chance that you will be affected. Call New Male at 505-652-1688 or visit New Male. That's NUMALE.com, and you can take care of it. New Male leads the way in men's health, making men feel better and battle nature. Their testosterone replacement is cutting edge. The process is easy and comfortable, and the best part is the results are proven and absolutely real. Call and make an appointment at 505-652-1688. Sometimes the toughest part is the first part, making that call. Don't put it off, fellas. It's time. Time to feel well. Time to feel like you again. New Male will help. 505-652-1688 or visit newmale.com and feel like you again.
Wash your car every
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Looks like Lauren McKinley with the ball right there, just into the game. Banks one off the window.
Alex Bregman is a loyal Dodgers fan. I cheered against my Dodgers to support a local guy. Alex and his teammates cheated, then won by cheating. The players that cheated should be fined and banned from the Hall of Fame forever, as baseball has done to others. They should be booed at every game until every cheater retires. Okay? I get it. I guess we've gone down this road a lot. I guess my question now is, what should they do? Or do you expect them to I don't know that I completely disagree with everything Jeff said, but what do you do as a player? You're going to self-impose. Baseball came down. They made their ruling. They handed out their punishment. Players didn't get. They didn't get anything. I don't think the players didn't get fined. They didn't get nothing. They took away draft picks, fined the team, and fired the manager or banned the manager and the general manager. This came in last night at 8:41 from Chris. Chris said, "I love New Mexico and New Mexico athletes. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Watching Yankees-Astros game tonight, I have to say, in my mind, Alex Bregman's from LSU and not from Albuquerque, New Mexico." Asterisk. You put an asterisk on there. Equals Astros titles. Man, I mean, I don't know if that's the overriding sentiment, but that's the sentiment that I've been getting in from people around here.
It's one we all understand. Professional sports are not the most clean thing overall. We get that. Been there, done that. We've seen the 30 for 30s. We know the stories, things that have gone on in sports, the sports world overall. Various levels of cheating. We get it. But I think ultimately, too, as sports fans, even at the highest level with all that's going on, we want to believe that there is at least a sense of a fair competition, at least a sense of a somewhat, hey, these guys are all going at it on the same playing field. And this is a situation where the Astros weren't alone. Now, them winning the World Series title put the most focus on them. But there was stories with the Yankees potentially doing something, I think the Red Sox. So I understand. But when you win the World Series title, and then it is found like, oh, yes, indeed, you did do something extra, you're just going to have to wear that. And to your point, Jeff, what can you do as a player? You're not giving back your World Series ring. You're not expecting a rookie coming up to stop the cheating, but you did it. And people aren't going to feel any different about it because you're the ones that are out there. We don't know about the other teams yet. We don't know those stories. You're the World Series champions that Major League Baseball said cheated, and nothing happened to you. So you get to have a bunch of funny signs, a bunch of trash cans thrown in your face for an entire season when you go to these stadiums.
Maybe longer.
And that's your penalty. And guess what? It ain't that bad because no one's taking away your World Series ring.
Yeah, look, believe me, I'm not sitting here playing apologist. I'm just trying to look at it from the other side, that's all. I mean, the conversation about what should fans do, we've been having for a year and a half. I get that. I'm just, as
I don't think there's another side.
Well,
like,
there's
what
another.
Do you get to do? You get to show up and be a professional baseball player.
Well, there's another lens. There is another side. I mean, there's a side of everybody, and then there's the side of the Astros. Whether you want to acknowledge the side or not, there's always two sides. I'm not telling you that they should be defined. I mean, but there is. What would you how could you say there isn't? There's everybody against them. So there's that side and there's that side. There is another side. So I'm looking at it from the other side. Just say, well,
do you know why it stinks? Because you cheated.
Right. I'm not. Look again. I'm not sympathizing with them, agonizing with them. I'm just conversing about them, and it made me think, is Alex took a little longer trot around the bases last night. I'm not saying you should feel bad for him. I'm just saying, what would you do if you were them? Aaron, I saw you kind of shaking your head a little bit, and I know you got an opinion. I'm just kind of curious what and as a young sports fan, where you come from on it.
I don't know. All we ask is the players should have either said sorry or they do exactly what they're doing now. Just keep playing and not worry about it. That's what they've been doing now, and that's looking good for them.
Yeah, I think that's all they can do. So you don't accept that apology that they gave at that press conference that time?
What apology? They didn't really give any actual apology. Oh, yeah. That wasn't a real apology.
I remember Carlos Correa going after people. I don't remember a lot of apologizing going on from the Astros players.
Yeah, he went after
themselves.
Cody Bellinger that one day.
Yeah.
But, Altuve never apologized. Bregman just did the whole, the commissioner made his report.
That's right.
They didn't apologize, and that's what, like JJ's saying, if they're going to be the villains, just be the villains.
Look, I agree with you guys on it. And so there's the answer from the other side. What do you do? And you just be the villains, and you take it, and if people are going to boo you and bang trash cans at you, then you got off pretty well. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Should they be defiant? Should they be? I honestly, I think they're handling it. I'm kind of saying the same thing you are, in a roundabout way. They're handling it really kind of the only way that I think they can, without making it worse. I don't hear a lot coming out of their mouths. Anytime it's talked about, it's from Dusty Baker, who says we got over it, or the players, and the players are asked about it in every city they go to, and the response is, "Yep, nope, we get this in every town we go to, and we expect it."
And if that's ultimately as we get here, working our way to this point, if the worst thing you have is, oh man, this is such a bummer, I got to answer these questions again.
Yeah, you did
got
pretty well.
off pretty well.
Yeah. Yep, you did pretty well. I can't wait to see. You think in 10 years, 15 years from now, when we watch the 30 for 30 on this? Because this is, what if I told you a team won the World Series with an eye in the sky, right? What if I told you
and
they knew what was coming?
And that's why it is incredibly frustrating, but unfortunately, it wouldn't surprise me as if in that 30 for 30, it's like, oh, and by the way, Major League Baseball knew 28 other teams that were doing it that season.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the thing where I get where I'm so incredibly frustrated, but I know it wasn't just the Astros. but they're the team that won the World Series. So
right.
There we go.
And we know it was the Red Sox. And what if it comes out the Dodgers or the Yankees were doing it? Which I mean, look, I don't know that I'm not by any means saying I know anything and wouldn't make an accusation. I think when these guys speak about it, or one of them does, right? And who was the architect, and how did it come about, and how did it go through the locker? I'm really interested in that. I don't know why I care, but I'm really interested in the 30 for 30 when these guys start talking about it. And you get the equipment manager and the guy who was running the camera, and AJ Hinch and Altuve and Alex Cora and all these guys who supposedly were the architects of this. How did it happen? How did it come about? And look, that's 15, 20 years away. And you and I will get together and have a little reunion that day and drink some bourbon and watch that 30 for 30. That's going to be fascinating to me, because I think that's when we'll have a better idea what happened. And I don't know if that's going to change anybody's perspective. It may make people more pissed off. It may reopen 2 decades old wounds at that time, or it may make people understand how more people got caught up in it. I don't know. But all the 30 for 30s that we know are coming at some point, right? That's one that I would really like to see.
And I'm right there with you, because this isn't one where it was like 2 guys just figured out a system. It's like someone had to notice this was going on. It's the camera relaying signals. To your point of just everyone just being okay with it, going along with it. I mean, baseballs are hard to hit. That game is extremely difficult to play. But the one thing is definitely, if you know where it's coming, at least you can have a little bit better. It's the whole Tatis Bauer situation when they got so upset they thought Tatis might have been peeking back at the catcher. Where's the location? What's going to be?
What was coming? Yeah. Yeah, look, baseball's hard to hit. And what makes it so hard, not only is it a round object and a round object trying to meet, you don't know the speed, you don't know the location, you don't know the velocity, you don't know if it's a curveball, fastball, slide, right? And that's what makes it so hard. If you know what's coming, if you know what to wait for, if you know what to look for, I'm not telling you it's easier, but it makes it a lot easier. 505-246-0610. What if I told you there is a company in town that will protect your home? Armed Response. Trained armed officers. What if I told you that I've been using them for years and I've been very satisfied? It's International Protective Service. IPS is the company that watches my home, and I suggest they watch yours. Don't wait until something bad happens. Hundreds and now thousands of homeowners and business owners in Albuquerque and Santa Fe rely on IPS to protect what's important to them. You've worked very, very hard to build your home, to build your business. Don't let some bad guy just come in and take what's yours. IPS is local. They will stay local. Aaron Jones is from Albuquerque. He owns his company. He's not selling. I know many of you have signed up for Armed Response with another company that has now been sold and bought twice. Your security is in the hands of a Texas company, and that's not what you signed up for. It's not what you have to have. Call IPS and protect what's important to you. And again, don't wait until something bad happens. That's way too late, and it's a trauma that you don't need, and your family certainly does not need. International Protective Service responds to alarms when they go off within 5 to 7 minutes. Give them a call. Area code 505-897-2420. That's 897-2420. You can visit them online at ipsglobal.com.
Whether
Lovato spins. Lovato going to get all the way to the basket over Gilliford. It's the ball handler. Lovato's so good he only needs one shoe. Seiss just picked his pocket. Transition and one on a strong finish for Gabe Seiss.
Smack that one to center field. This one's going. It's going. And that is home run for Kiana King for today. 2 games, 4 official at-bats. She has 4 home runs. King adding more to the board.
Stanrich going to go strong. No, look, underneath. Beautiful pass there to Ethan Chavez. Maury's free throw's no good. Offensive rebound for Ayers, and he beats the horn. Exodus Ayers steals the offensive board, and he beats the buzzer, and we got a 1-point game here. District on the line at Sandia. It's halftime here on ProView Network. Lovato trying to go all the way. Lovato, tough angle, it's going to count, and it's a chance at a three-point play for Lovato.
Steal by Wade. Wade will slam it in transit.
Touch the ball for them, and big look.
Pacheco, the lob, slam dunk. The lob to Wade, it's a slam dunk and a timeout. Valley right away, and great job by Pacheco in finding Wade in the open court.
Ladies, how does it feel? Let's come in here a little bit. How does it feel to hit the 1,000 point mark here at Volcano Vista? Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
Yeah!
Say hi to everybody. You bet.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McClain and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talk It Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You're watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer Zero for static.
All right, so I responded to that email that Jeff sent earlier. He said, he cheered against his Dodger for the hometown guy and Alex in the baseball in the World Series a few years ago. And so I said, that's fine. I understand that. But what would you do if you were a player? He said, I would give my playoff money back, apologize, and live with whatever baseball decides to do, which is nothing. Fans will be fans. They deserve to be booed the rest of their career. White Sox cheated. Pete Rose. Neither are allowed in the Hall of Fame. They should ban coaches and players who cheated from the Hall of Fame too. It's going to come up at some point, or do you think it will? Is baseball just ruled on this ultimately? That's it? There'll be no, or is the Hall of Fame an issue when these guys' careers are said and done?
I think it's going to be less of an issue than the steroid era. I don't think there's going to be as many back and forths on it, because if you look at the rest of the career, like Alex Bregman still has a lot of baseball to play. What Correa, Altuve ultimately do down the stretch, if George Springer, those are at least some of the names you'd think of would at some point in some time be close if they continue their career. So I don't think it's going to be as dramatic as we've seen with the steroid era players that people for sure have pointed out and put the scarlet letter on them and kept them out.
I think it'll ultimately be handled like the steroid era, which will mean it'll be handled by the voters, by the writers. I don't know that baseball's going to put a ban on them, but I think they'll be treated by the voters, by the baseball writers, who are the voters, much like you're seeing Canseco, Bonds, Clemens, those guys treated. You don't think that's the way that'll be?
I think it's going to be less than that.
You do?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be as dramatic as the steroid era, because it's one you can look at and say, all right, we know at this point in time, this is what player X did. Now, what was it the rest of the way?
So you think it'll be considered
with the steroid era? It's still kind of a lot of these guys. It's the majority of their career, or at least the last X amount of years. It was a window in time that there's still, like I said, with Alex Bregman, there's still so much baseball to be played, and he's not getting the World Series because he won the Hall of Fame because he won the World Series in 2017. It's what he's going to do over the next 10 years.
So he goes on and hits, let's say, 620 home runs and has a 20-year career and wins he's an All-Star MVP, wins an MVP somewhere, a couple MVPs along the way, Gold Gloves, wins another championship. This will be an isolated incident. Him, Altuve,
it would not carry. I do not believe it would carry as much weight as a steroid era.
Yeah. Okay. I think I agree with you on that. Obviously, the text I got is on a very differing opinion. I think this is vary. I'll tell you, I think Dodger and Yankee fans will have a much harsher opinion than Royals and White Sox fans, right? Because they feel that they were directly affected by that. And I think that will be a constant as we go through this. We're going to talk more baseball when we come back. Tomorrow night, return of Isotopes Baseball to Isotopes Park and to the Sports Animal. The gentleman who will broadcast those games for you will once again be Josh Sushan. Josh will join us, give a little preview of this roster, and welcome back to professional baseball. When we return, you can watch the show on ProView Networks on their YouTube channel and on our Facebook page, The OD and the AM. Aaron's head is bopping there. That's him in the bopping hat. Stephanie's in the red, lower right. She's producing on the radio side on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, Leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
New Mexico. It will be the return of the Isotopes after 600, and I think Josh will probably know the exact number. I think I saw 617 days. Our next guest is the ultimate multimedia 21st century sports journalist who easily crosses over from one platform to the next, from one town to the next, from one state to the next, and he is once again the voice of Isotopes baseball on the Sports Animal. It's great to welcome back to town Josh Sushan. Hello, Josh. How you living?
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm living fabulously. How about yourselves?
Everything is good because they're going to have opening day and there's going to be this smell of baseball in the air tomorrow. This has been a long time coming and a long road for you. First off, welcome back. You were in Reno, you don't call them UNR anymore. It's the University of Nevada, Wolfpack, women's basketball and baseball. How was the run for you? Everything good?
Yeah, no, the primary reason for wanting to go there is to spend time with my family because, my family lives in that area. So, rode out the rest of the pandemic with family and got to do some work, and now back here, and but happy with all of the different adventures that I've had.
That's good. All right, and you got to be happy baseball's back. Josh, it's been a long run, and it's going to be different out there. But for you sitting in your familiar seat and seeing baseball, the familiarity has got to be something, not just for you, but for everybody involved. The players, I heard Warren Schaefer talk about it yesterday, and for fans who just want to go sit in their seat and have a hot dog and watch a ball game.
Yeah, it's I don't think any of us needed the pandemic to remind us how much fun it is to go to Isotopes Park or anything like that. It gets taken away, and I think that with each of these different things that occur, it helps us get back to the before times a little bit closer, and it is going to be different. People are going to be wearing masks. It's limited capacity. However, let me first make sure people know there's tickets available for tomorrow. There's tickets available for every game on this first 6-game homestand. So hopefully there's not confusion about whether or not, there's only a certain number of people who are allowed to go and I can't get tickets. No, tickets are available. You go to abqisotopes.com and you can be one of those people that Jeff just talked about, just enjoying a game with a hot dog and beer and all that. But yeah, so many players couldn't play anywhere. Their careers were completely shut down for a year. And so for them to be able to get back out there, it's going to be really fun and it's going to be special. And again, we didn't take it for granted in the past, but we certainly won't tomorrow and every day this season.
He's Josh Sushan, the voice of the Isotopes, with us on the opening drive. You get a look at the roster yet? You get an appreciation? I've never heard a coach or a manager ever tell me before a season started we're not very good. And so Warren's excited about the roster, but when you take a look at it, what does it look like to you?
Well, here's the other thing that you always hear from every AAA manager. It's a good mix of young guys and old guys and guys who have a little bit of major league experience and guys who are at AAA for the first time, and all of that is true, right? And then the other thing that AAA managers will always say is, well, that's our roster today, and the roster might change tomorrow, and then it might change the day after that, and the day after that. So, there's some familiar names in the bullpen, guys like Jesus Tinoco and guys like Jairo Diaz, and we thought we were going to have Ryan Castellani, and then he was pitching yesterday at Coors Field for the Rockies. But I think that in terms of, prospects, I think the name that people are going to be most excited to watch is Colton Welker. He was drafted out of high school a few years ago, and he's been in all the top prospect lists for a while. And Colton's the guy who didn't get to play anywhere last year. So I think that he's the one who's probably going to stand out from the position players. But this is going to be an ongoing thing. A lot of these guys were at the alternate site. Now they're at Albuquerque. It's going to change a ton, and I think it's going to be. I think it's a year that for whoever is on the Rockies, let's face it, they're not. They won yesterday, or they split their doubleheader, but they're not playing well. And so, if you're playing the Rockies organization, you got a chance to get to the big leagues if you can put together a couple of good months. So it's probably frustrating for them that they're not part of an organization that's winning at the major league level, but you got a chance to get to the big leagues. They're in some version of a rebuilding mode, and so as a young player, that's really exciting when you know how close you are to the big leagues.
Well, Josh, you also return, and it's a much different look to the overall league, what the series look like, the length of the series, some of the teams we're going to see, what's on deck in that regard.
So it used to be called the Pacific Coast League. For at least 1 year, it's going to be called AAA West. We used to have 16 teams. Now we have 10. Fresno is gone, Nashville's gone, Memphis is gone, Iowa's gone, Omaha's gone. one of the teams that's new is the Sugarland Skeeters. That used to be an independent league team. Sugarland is a suburb of Houston. They're a Houston Astros affiliate. So it'll be the Astros affiliate against the Rockies affiliate tomorrow night. Used to be that most series were 4 games. Sometimes they'd be 3, sometimes they'd be 5, but usually they were 4. Now they're all going to be a 6-game series, which from the people that I've talked to, they really like the idea that you're going to not have to travel quite as much, that it won't take as much of a toll on the bodies of the players and coaches and everyone else. It's going to save travel costs. So the entire season, we're going to start a series on Thursday, we're going to end it on Tuesday, and we're going to have a Wednesday off. There's going to be no All-Star break because sitting players away for 3 days and then trying to get them back into COVID protocols doesn't make any sense. So we're not going to have an All-Star break. It used to be that the season ended on Labor Day. Instead, it's going to end late September. Used to be 140 games. I think it's 118 or somewhere around there. So, yeah, a totally different look to the league, to the travel, to the length of games, the length of series. Length of games is still probably going to be pretty high. But I'm curious to see what it all looks like. And, right away we welcome the newest member of AAA West. I'm still going to say PCL because it's just a habit that I can't break. And I don't think people are going to understand what AAA West is for a while. So I'll keep calling it PCL as much as I can.
As you should, please.
Some things just will never change, and the PCL is one of those things. It is the voice, Josh Ushan, joining us. Josh, too, with Major League Baseball, we've seen a lot of changes over the years. Some of those changes have made their way into the major leagues. Are there any rules and or game scenarios that fans need to be aware of this year?
Well, so there's a whole slew of things that Major League Baseball is experimenting with in the minor leagues in order to see what the results are, to see if that might be a rule that is worth using in the major leagues. As far as our level at AAA, the only difference that we're going to have is the bases are going to be slightly bigger. I think it's 3 inches bigger, which, so the idea is to try and get more running in the game, more stolen bases. So if it's 3 inches bigger at first base, it's 3 inches bigger at second base, and so that's a half foot. So we'll see, instead of 90 feet between the bases, I guess it's 89 feet, 6 inches between the bases now. And so that's really the only thing that'll be different. We're going to continue with the 3-batter rule. We're going to continue with the runner at second base. In extra innings, I mean, that started, 5-6 years ago. We're going to continue with a pitch clock, which started back in 2015. So there's a lot of things that are somewhat new that are going to continue, but in terms of what's absolutely new, it's just going to be a slightly wider base. And again, we'll see if that increases stolen base frequency. We'll see if that changes how often people try to steal bases, and whether that might be something the major leagues want to implement as well.
Are you becoming more accepting of some of these things as they go? I know I'm trying to be. I'm still struggling with the runner at second base to start extra innings in the big leagues as I was in the minor leagues. I still am struggling with 7-inning doubleheaders in the big leagues. Do you become more accepting as you go along with some of these trials?
Well, the 7 innings in the major leagues, I don't like that at all. I like it in the minors. I don't like that in the majors. Yeah. The runner at second base, I think it creates more strategy than ever. So there's something about that I like. I would not want that for the playoffs. In terms of like some of this other stuff, I don't have it memorized. I have it all written down, but in some of the minor leagues, they're going to do something where your feet must be in the dirt. That you can't go into an exaggerated shift. There's some that's going to be where you have to step off and then pick off. So there's a slew of things like that. And I'm all for using the minor leagues as a laboratory, because as much as I love baseball needs more action. The strikeout rate continues to go up every single year. So the whole idea of just strikeouts and walks and home runs, home runs are fun, but it's the only way to score. The league batting average in the major leagues is about 232 right now. This is it has never been harder to get a hit in baseball since like 1968 or something like that. So I do think that we need to figure out a way in order to get more contact, to get more action, to showcase the athleticism of the players. I know that there's some leagues that are going to move the pitcher's mound back a little bit. So instead of 60 feet 6 inches, I think it's going to be 61 feet 6 inches. And so we're trying a variety of different things in the minor leagues to see what those results are, to see if it leads to unintended results that you don't want. But the bottom line is we need more action in baseball. And so I'd like a lot of the ideas to see if they work.
You know, Josh, and one of the things, too, that is great about what you get to do is tell stories and interact. And it might be a little bit different this year, but still you're going to get to find out a lot about these guys. And we'll listen to the pregame conversations, what you have to say during the game. And I got to believe that's got you just as excited to tell some of the stories of the guys of what they went through as well last year.
Yeah, it's going to be really challenging to find those stories. I mean, I'm not allowed in the clubhouse. I'm not allowed on the field. Pretty much anywhere the players go, I'm not allowed to be. So a lot of those stories and conversations that you get organically, it's just going to be really hard to get those. And to be candid, sometimes those stories that I get it's the work of other journalists who are able to get those stories from one-on-one conversations. And I try my best to say, the article that I read by blah, 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 in order to give more details. But it's hard for all journalists to get more access and to get one-on-one time in order to be able to talk to people. So, it's going to be a struggle. So I hope people bear with me that I don't have quite as many stories. And I hope the families of the players kind of bear with me because, any type of conversation is just going to be on Zoom or however else it is that we talk to people. Even yesterday I was like down above the dugout about the fourth row and kind of chatting to people as they walk by. And so it's going to be something like that where you're kind of screaming at each other from 5 rows away. And so maybe we'll have to turn down the volume on the music during batting practice so that we can hear each other a little bit easier. So, I'm up for the challenge, though, to see what I can do to find out some stories about these guys.
Hey, John, before we go, we've been talking a lot about the Astros, what happened with the Yankee Stadium last night, and it happens everywhere. And I was just kind of asking the question, we've talked about the fans and the right, and certainly Dodgers and Yankee fans are more irate than maybe Royals and Twins fans. But I was looking at it from the players' perspective, and you don't hear much out of them. It seems like Alex Bregman maybe took a little longer getting around the bases on the home run last night. And as human beings, there's going to be a reaction. I think they handle it the right way. I don't think they say much. From an Astros perspective, how would you handle it if you're one of them? Let's just say you're a rookie, you got called up in the middle of the season, you got caught up in whatever, but you're part of it, and you're forever part of it. How would you handle it?
I think you just have to wear it. You just have to be quiet. Yeah. You just have to accept it. Like, this is your punishment, right? You didn't get punished by the commissioner's office, so your punishment is that fans boo you, and that people are going to bang trash cans around you for the rest of your career, or at least until they get tired of it, and then we move on to the next, scandal that makes us all irate. So, what are you going to say? We didn't cheat that bad, So, and then, if you hit a home run, take your time going around the bases. But I'm a believer in taking your time to go around the bases and celebrating home runs regardless of how much people are cheering you or booing you, I love this quote from Trevor Story a couple of weeks ago. He said, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, baseball is so hard and there's so much failure that's involved with it that when you do something positive, it's like a release in order to celebrate. So whether Bregman took forever going around the bases, good for him. And the fans booed and banged trash cans, good for them. That's what sports is all about. It's about emotion.
And everybody had a good time. And I think that's the right answer. They just got to wear it and probably not talk about it. They get asked about it every day in every town they're in, and it's the same answer. We get booed everywhere. Wear it, move on. Hey, it's great to hear you, and I look forward to doing this as we go through the season. Try to leave you alone on Wednesdays on your day off, but maybe when on Tuesdays when there's day games and you're up early, maybe we do this a little bit more frequently. But enjoy baseball like we all will. Look forward to. I'll try to get by and see you at the ballpark tomorrow. But welcome back to town, and welcome back to baseball. And thanks for spending some time with us.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Enjoyed it, and anytime, just give me a call. I'll be happy to come on.
All right, be well. Josh Sushan, the voice of the Isotopes, dude. So. Honestly, I know it's tomorrow, but just hearing Josh's voice talk baseball makes me feel better and more excited to be at the ballpark tomorrow.
Yes, it does. So happy that Josh is able to come back and do this. Always love listening to him. Helped me out a ton in my career, and excited for Isotopes Baseball right here on the Sports Animal.
Man's a pro, and he's really good at what he does, and he works really, really hard at it, and I got a lot of respect for that man, and I appreciate the time. All right, 505-246-0610. Top of the hour, Sebastian Noel will be with us. We'll talk about the high school basketball tournaments, which are now in full throttle. It's the opening drive on ProView Networks and 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
At Panera.
Smash it. Jackson Compaction. We've earned a reputation for great results.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Looks like Lauren McKinley with the ball right there, just into the game. Banks one off the window.
Lovato spins. Lovato going to get all the way to the basket over Gilliford. It's the ball handler. Lovato's so good, he only needs one shoe. Seiss just picked his pocket. Transition and one on a strong finish for Gabe Seiss.
He will smack that one to center field. This one's going. It's going. And that is home run for Kiana King. For today, 2 games, 4 official at-bats. She has 4 home runs. King adding more to the board.
Back to Stanridge. Stanridge going to go strong. No, look, underneath. Beautiful pass there to Ethan Chavez. Flowers free throws no good. Offensive rebound for Ayers, and he beats the horn. Exodus Ayers steals the offensive board, and he beats the buzzer, and we got a 1-point game here. District on the line at Sandia. It's halftime here on ProView Network. Lovato trying to go all the way. Lovato, tough angle, it's going to count, and it's a chance at a 3-point play for Lovato.
Steal by Wade. Wade will slam it in transit.
Touch the ball for them. Big look.
Pacheco, the lob, slam dunk. The lob to Wade, it's a slam dunk and a timeout. Valley right away, and great job by Pacheco in finding Wade in the open court.
Ladies, how does it feel? Let's come in here a little bit. How does it feel to hit the 1,000 point mark here at Volcano Vista? Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
Yeah!
Say hi to everybody. You bet.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment.
What do you need to know going out to the ballpark and that kind of stuff? I got an email from, why are you laughing at me?
Need to know where the largest nachos are, hot pretzels.
But how to order them now? You can't stand in lines to order your nachos. So how to order your nachos?
Scrolling through the app, where can I get my barbecue nachos? Order pretzel, order cheddar corn, order. Let's go.
Yeah. Bill said, monument to mediocrity. Jeff, I saw the honcho for mediocrity on the media outlets yesterday. He spoke about the changes, all the changes except one. He never talked about winning. So at least one thing hasn't changed since pre-COVID. All right. Looking forward to baseball. That's all I know. Hey, dude, this became reality yesterday. This is the TV side. Look what physically happened in my house yesterday.
Varsity letter, baby.
Varsity letter with the little pins that are going to go on, and we got to get over to Garden Schwartz and get the jacket made up. But the physical letter with the documentation of the physical letter, kind of a big day. Like, we knew she lettered as a freshman, but yesterday, physically got the letter. That was a big deal, dude. Big day in our house yesterday.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm pumped. She's like, Dad, I don't care. I'm going to wear my jacket all summer if it's 100. No, you're not, but okay. It's kind of cool. I thought Josh's answer to the Astros thing was right on, and it's what you're saying, and it's what everybody's saying. I do believe it's what I'm saying at some point. It's you got to wear it. Deal with it. To your point, if that's the worst punishment you got is you get booed and people are banging trash cans at you and calling you a bleeping cheater, okay. And if you're going to take a little more time to run around the bases, do it. I mean, that's what happened yesterday. It seemed like everybody had a good time at the old ballpark. Right?
100%. And I think that's what we're ultimately all getting back to is I don't care about the Astros' feelings. I know it's the other side of the story, but I don't care. At this point in time, the worst thing that's happened to you is you have to answer the same question every other day, and people are booing you. And then, you know what? You get to play the villain role on the field, and if that gives you and that squad something to rally around, that's fantastic. But it ain't that bad.
Yeah, and I'm not suggesting that you should care about their feelings. I'm suggesting that just acknowledge that there's another side, and what are they thinking, and what would you do? And I think you know why that doesn't get brought up, and I know this isn't going to be popular, but it's because they're handling it, at least this part, the right way, which is maybe the only way. They're taking it, like Josh said, they're wearing it. They're going out every day, they're wearing it, they're playing ball, and so that's why there's nothing really to acknowledge. You can't pile on much more, because they're not compounding the fracture here by making it worse and saying ridiculous things every day. To his point, to your point, they're going out and wearing it, right?
Yeah, and that's all they can do, and all fans can do is hopefully get creative, have some fun, and enjoy when the Astros come to town.
Yeah, the Yankees fans have been the best so far with the signs, and it'll happen again today, and it'll happen tomorrow. And by the way, it's going to happen a year from now. In particular ballparks. And as I said to you, it'll be much more severe when they visit Yankee Stadium and Dodger Stadium, because those fans feel like they were directly affected by it, and they probably are right. I don't know that Twins fans or Marlins fans or Royals fans feel much because, well, whatever, it just happened. They didn't get anything taken away from them. Bourne sent me an email, says, reply to Sushan, Jeff, I hate the new PCL schedule. You play the hated Chihuahuas here for 6, then you travel to beautiful El Paso the following week and play them for another 6. They're going to get testy. It's like the Slam when they used to play St. Louis Swarm for a couple, then play the Richmond Rhythm twice, then play St. Louis again at their place. I enjoyed the trip to Iowa to play the Junior Cubbies, going to Memphis and New Orleans. I think I agree with Bourne.
You enjoy that trip, you ain't taking that trip.
And that's right where I was going. I enjoy it from you and my perspective. It's to Josh's point, it's a lot less travel for the players. Now, you can tell me, well, they're professional athletes and that's part of what they do, and you'd be right. But if you can cut down on the travel, cut down on the expenses in an industry that...
Especially this season.
This season, right. And I don't know that this is going to stick. No. We'll see. But in an industry that has been devastated financially because they had to shut down. Minor League Baseball shut down. Not just was abbreviated. They played off-site at their spring training. They were shut down last year. So expenses are a big deal. Travel is a big deal because as much as we want to think COVID is Ovid or Cover is over or whatever, it's not over. There's still a pandemic out there. And we just saw 3 teams in the state tournament shut down because of positive tests. There's still protocols. There's still testing. Josh has told you he can't get near the players. So the fact that limiting travel limits exposure, that's the way it's going to be this year. I tend to agree with him from a fan's perspective, but from a player's perspective, you tell me I only have to travel once a week instead of 2 to 3 times a week? I'm in, right? Or yes, that means I got to spend... Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying, and I don't necessarily think this is set in stone. This is the way it's going to be forever. It's, as you just laid out, managing this year for minor league baseball, coming off nothing, and now still realizing that these dudes are going to have to still go up to the major leagues at some point in time. And the last thing you need is travel issues, then shutting down minor league teams across the board.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610. Emails Jeff@sportsanimalabq.com, JJ@sportsanimalabq.com. Find us on the Twitter, it's _JJBuck, and on the Facebook, the OD in the AM. Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks due to be with us coming up at the top of the hour. I'm not sure what Aaron's telling me.
He's telling you, move on.
Yeah. Sebastian Noel from ProView Network is going to be with us coming up at the top of the hour. We're going to talk high school sports with the tournament going on the opening drive on ProView Networks at 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is
Realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
Oh, Buffalo is getting baseball back. The Buffalo Bisons, the AAA team, are open, but they're going to share their ballpark now. Toronto Blue Jays are moving back north, JJ. They're migrating north now that it's getting a little warmer. They've been playing down near Clearwater, and they're going to go back up to Buffalo. Still can't go to Toronto. So they've been the kind of Tampa Bay / Clearwater / Toronto / Buffalo Blue Jays, and they're going back up to Buffalo to Salem Field. They'll do it June 1st against the Miami Marlins, whatever that means. I honestly, that whole thing, the vagabondness of them is insane. And I don't know that they'll play a home game this year.
Yeah, and that's been wild to think about, like the Raptors playing in Florida where the Blue Jays have been playing, and the NHL season's going on, but it's an entire Canadian division. So it's just all those teams playing each other at some point in time. Teams are going to have to cross the border, and I know for sure for the Blue Jays, they'd like to have a legit home field.
So it's going to be interesting what the NHL is going to do for the playoffs. Have you seen a plan for that? So to your point, they have had a straight Canadian division. So all the Canadian teams have been in the division. That's how they've been playing. They've been doing divisional play. And so they haven't had to cross the border. At some point now with the playoffs coming up, there's going to have to be crossing of the border. Or are they all going to play like they did last year, all the playoffs going north? I've not seen a plan on that. Have you?
I assume you're going to have to cross the border at some point in time.
Yeah. I was talking, former Governor Johnson does the Continental Divide bicycle race, which usually starts in Banff, Canada. And it basically goes all the way down to the New Mexico border, bicycle endurance race, which is nuts in its own right. But because of their borders being closed, essentially, they are starting it at the Montana-Canada line, and there will be no crossing over the border this year. They cut about 230 miles off the race. I'm like, yeah, now it's easy, pansy.
230 miles. It's an easy race now.
Yeah, now you're just going from the Canadian border to the Mexican border. And it's all downhill, right? If you go north to south, right, it's straight down on the map, isn't it? Like
you don't even have to pedal.
How hard can it be? He's put in like 35 hours a week training. I guess he was telling me. In fact, JJ, we're going to have him on before he goes off on that race. Former Governor Gary Johnson. They do 90 hours in the saddle a week during that race, which is insane. I said to him, what hurts more? Is it your legs? Is it your cardio? Your butt? It's like it's not even a doubt. It's your butt. Those aren't very comfortable. But anyway, that's a Canadian border issue. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Steph Cat has OD purring, Jeff. Bobcat broke the cardinal rule of business. You don't want to train your backup so well that you aren't needed anymore. Is that how it is, Steph? Is it just Bob's gone? He's over there on the big stick now, playing with the big dogs, and he doesn't need little old sports animal anymore. So he trained you, and now he's going to try to come back at some point and
I believe he wants to come back. He just is training to cover for them on Friday.
Yeah, it's cute. All right. However it is, I'm glad you're here, Steph. I mean, at least somebody wants to be with us.
Thank you. I really like it.
Yeah, well, that's good. We like you. I'm glad you're here. Rod said Jefferson in Vegas in July. What I heard from Albuquerque's baseball team's new coach sounds familiar. Everybody worked hard in the offseason. We have an awesome staff. We have a great recruiting class, etc. Let's check in with the baseball team again in a couple months and see how things are working out. That's the point, Rod. I mean, I've never heard a coach on draft day tell me they had a crappy draft. I've never heard a college coach on signing day tell me they didn't get the guys they wanted. I've never heard a manager on opening day or coach on opening day tell me their team stinks. I've never gone to a media day where the staff and the players didn't work hard in the offseason. That's just how it is, right? And then you get in a month and a half, 2 months in, and you're like, I thought you guys worked hard and outworked everybody. Now, this is different because you just have no control over your roster, right? AAA baseball is just different because your roster is going to look different in 30 days and 60 days and 90 days. And, now in college basketball, you just know it's going to look different in 365 days, right? But in AAA baseball, I mean, in a normal season, what do we do? Like 160, 180 roster moves?
Oh, a ton.
Yeah. So that's just what you're going to get, man. I mean, Rod, that's how it's going to be. That's why I try not to X and O this thing so much when we hit here. Dan's in on the play-in tournament in the NBA. He says, loving the play-in. Jeffrey, Juan, Jose, and Stephanie Joe. That's now you. I would take it a step further. I'd make not only play-in, but the Sweet 16 round best of 3 as well. Just like it used to be in the days Bobby Unser drove down the Indy Straight. P.S. is today a load management day for Bobcat, kind of. He's load managing over on News Radio. I see now. I'm the other way on the 2 out of 3. I'm fine with it for the play-in tournament. I'm not looking 2 out of 3, 3 out of 5. I mean, if you're gonna have playoffs, I'm not big on changing the formats. I know baseball's doing it now. I think best of 7. Typically, JJ, the better team wins best of 7s. The team that's not the better team has a much better chance to steal 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5, which I tell you a lot I'm a fan of. But I like the consistency best out of 7 series.
I'm with you. I don't think we need any tweaks all along the way in terms of series length. Once you get to your 16 teams, the playing games being a 3-game series makes sense. And I wonder, too, at this point in time, how long we're even going to see that stick around in the league.
You're talking about the play-in tournament or
the play-in tournament?
Or what?
Yes.
Well, was it intended to be a trial anyway? It was last year for COVID, and this year, with COVID, and it's still in the trial phase, right? And if LeBron James said it's bleep, then, I mean, for crying out loud, then there's probably going to go away, isn't it?
Well, Mark Cuban said it too, and he's a guy that has some power as well in that league in terms of the owners and revotes and things along those lines.
Yeah, no, he's certainly a voice in that room. All right, Sebastian, at the top of the hour, I got a little basketball email to talk about when we get back. We're going to talk about the high school basketball tournaments, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in on the opening drive this morning.
So I've had a busy week, and it's going to continue to be busy. It's state tournament time, but I have not forgotten about my fitness thanks to F45. F45 Functional Fitness is full body training in 45-minute classes. You can find a class that will work for you, and it's time to take your fitness health seriously again, because it will help you in everything else you got going on. The energy to keep up with work, your family, practice, whatever it may be, whatever you're doing, you still got to focus on yourself. From the F45 functional training, the 45-minute classes will give you an intense workout, whether it's cardio training, strength training, a mix of both. The classes are phenomenal. It's a new challenge every day to keep your mind and body moving forward. Check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app. Take a look at the schedule at the Northeast Heights location. On the app, you can sign up for your 7-day free trial as well, so you can see what it's all about. And what I like about F45 is you don't have to worry about, all right, what plan am I going to do today? Is it an arm day? No, you go in, it's set. You have red line on Monday. It's cardio focus workout. You have your class on Saturday, Hollywood. It's a 60-minute workout, hitting different things, reps, intensity, time that you're doing the workout, and it's all there for you. F45 has you covered. Certified trainers at every class to help motivate and modify. The atmosphere is awesome. You can just go in there and focus on getting the best workout possible, because you don't have to worry about anything. You show up, boom, get it done. So F45 functional training has helped me get that excitement back to want to work out, to continue to work out, and find a way in our crazy life schedule. In just 45 minutes, that's all it's going to cost you to get a fantastic workout and start feeling better about yourself. The gym is located 5920 Holly Northeast, so it's really good access, Paseo, I-25. From wherever you're coming from in town, for me over here on the west side, not too bad, even during rush hour times, to get there in the day. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
like Lauren McKinley with the ball right there, just into the game. Banks one off the window.
Lovato spins. Lovato going to get all the way to the basket over Gilliford. It's the ball handler. Lovato's so good he only needs one shoe. Seiss just picked his pocket. Transition and one on a strong finish for Gabe Seiss.
We'll smack that one to center field. This one's going, it's going, and that is home run for Kiana King. For today, 2 games, 4 official at-bats. She has 4 home runs. King adding more to the board.
Back to Stanridge. Stanridge going to go strong. No, look, underneath. Beautiful pass there to Ethan Chavez. Flowers free throws no good. Offensive rebound for Ayers, and he beats the horn. Exodus Ayers steals the offensive board, and he beats the buzzer, and we got a 1-point game here. District on the line at Sandia. It's halftime here on ProView Network. Lovato trying to go all the way. Lovato, tough angle, it's going to count, and it's a chance at a 3-point play for Lovato.
Steal by Wade. Wade will slam it in transit.
Touch the ball for them. Big look.
Pacheco, the lob, slam dunk. The lob to Wade, it's a slam dunk and a timeout. Valley right away, and great job by Pacheco in finding Wade in the open court.
Ladies, how does it feel? Let's come in here a little bit. How does it feel to hit the 1,000 point mark here at Volcano Vista? Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
Yeah!
Say hi to everybody. You bet.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Next in line. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Extreme Clean is a
888-922-0610. Brought to you by Quan's Auto Care Collision and Repair. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal! Woohoo!
Two lines open. See if we can get through these two before we have to get to Sebastian at the top of the hour. 505-246-0610. Lance, you're up first. Good morning, Lance. How you feeling?
Oh, better. I want Sebastian Suits when he croaks. I mean, he always looks so good. You know what I mean?
All right.
And maybe
send him a note.
You know, your guy on the TV there could tell us if there's something on today. I've been hooked on the station now that I got it. I loved the stories yesterday, and it was really cool, you know, hearing everybody else's experience with the answers, so shout out. But anyway, so my friend, he just became a broker. His dad owns a company, you know, and he didn't have no work. So I said, I thought this would be a kick. He's a car guy. And I said, I got a side job. And so we went, and I didn't tell him, but it was Al Unser's house. And he didn't even say a word the whole time. His mouth's just wide open, starts shaking, and he couldn't even put in a light bulb, you know. And Al takes us to his garage. All the cars that are in the museum were in the garage, you know, and it was so funny, you know, watching it. And I'm like elbowing him, like, you just got your broker's license, because he was saying he needs to find a place to display them. And he just got through showing me this nice building off Montano. And I said, well, Dave here, you know, and then go on like that. And that's how the Answer Museum came around.
Is that right?
Lancer the Answer had something to do with that, and I'm very proud. So every time you go in, you can laugh a little bit. You guys don't laugh. It's hard to get you to laugh anymore, but Stephanie does enough smiling for you. So God bless you guys. Great show. I'm glad I get to see your mugs on TV, too. I'm looking at, he's looking up stuff on the computer right now, seeing if he can find something wrong. You can't on that one, JJ. Gotcha.
Not on that one. Thanks, Lance. Be well. Who knew Lancer was the answer on that one? Edward might have known that. Good morning, sir. Did you know that piece of Lancer for history?
You know, Lancer's like, it's so good to hear his voice. I'm so glad he's doing well. He sounds great. Lance, I hope you're listening. You know, we love you and care about you. He's a pretty dynamic individual, and the stories are vast and wide, so I appreciate them. Hey, I love Bobcat, and he's training Stephanie, and I told Stephanie I'm going to come up with a moniker for her. I have to put some mental energy behind it, and she said, well, do your diligence. That was if you go to the zoo and you're in the cat section and you look at the jaguars, there used to be jaguars in southern New Mexico. Did you guys know that? Freaking jaguars in southern New Mexico. I think they've eventually migrated south for various reasons, but there might be a jaguar theme there for Stephanie. Let me say this, Jeff. I texted you yesterday. Terry, I hope you're listening, Terry. Your calls are stellar. The way you lay things out, back in with history, give a great perspective, very unemotional. And the Hall of Fame committee has an eye on you. Hall of Fame committee has defined by the Crusher. But he's taking notes. And there might be an orange jacket for you. It's not going to be a yellow jacket, but it might be an orange jacket for you in the very near future. Hey, the narrative on Rodgers, you know, all these years and he's only won one Super Bowl. And JJ, by the way, I think there's a pretty heavy betting favorite that he's going to end up with the Broncos. One Super Bowl, 3-time MVP. It's not like they hand those things out, you know, at Safeway. There's a reference
No, hey,
for you.
quickly, because we're coming up on the top of the hour. Wrap it. And I hate to do that to you, but just playing the music.
I shall. I'll wrap it quick. But just ask quarterbacks in the past how easy it is. Ask Dan Marino and Dan Fouts how easy it is to win a Super Bowl, right? You can go down the list of Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and I think it's a bad narrative. And if he goes to Denver, they're an immediate playoff threat. Anyway, I'll call them later tomorrow, and we'll have some more conversations. Lance, I'm glad you're doing well. Have a great day.
Hoops next. Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks coming up next on the opening drive.
Hey, it's supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer Zero for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
The Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck.
Well, we'll get through some of the scores here at the top. I'm going to give you 5A and 4A boys winners last night in the state tournament. Cleveland beat Santa Fe. They'll play Atrisco Heritage, who beat Sandia. The other side, Las Cruces beat Los Lunas. They'll play Roswell, who moved on after the Carlsbad COVID issue. 4A boys, Del Norte beat Highland. They'll play Espanola next, who beat Kirtland Central. And then Gallup got by Bernalillo. They'll play Artesia next. Opening drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. But that just scratches the surface on the story that is the state basketball tournament that is going on in full swing. Hopefully you're enjoying it. I know you can't get to every gym. That's why you have ProView Networks, which is bringing it to you. And it's our pleasure to welcome to the show the superstar of ProView Networks, Sebastian Noel. Good morning, Sebastian. How you living? Hello? Steph, were we there? We got him yet? Am I just talking out my... All right, Sebastian, you there? All right, well, JJ, you had a game last night. All right, there you are. Now I hear the echo. What's up, Sebastian? I heard it for a second. All right, maybe he's waiting until the real top of the hour.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, got you now. How about these technical things that we're working out? All right, so a lot of chalk yesterday in the first round of the boys 5A and 4A. I don't know that would be unexpected with the home sites. Anything surprise you so far?
No, I mean, I don't think, no surprises. If you saw the quality of the lower seeded teams, Santa Fe and Sandia in those games, you thought those would be competitive. I mean, you really don't have any blowouts at this time.
Thought a huge bummer before we started with all the COVID. 3 teams having to drop out of the tournament after the brackets were put together and the way the rules were put together because of timing. There were no replacements, so we had forfeits in the first round. I don't know that's a huge surprise. I just feel horribly for those kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough way to end your season.
Well, Sebastian, on Saturday night when the brackets were coming out, not a lot of surprises, but definitely intrigue. And if we look at 5A boys and Las Cruces, what was it ultimately that kind of hurt them for them being the 3 seed?
Well, what hurt them is Roswell being overseeded. You know, Roswell, there's no disrespect to Roswell, but there's no way they should be a 2 seed. The only reason they're a 2 seed is because they beat Artesia, a district champ that's 1 class lower than them, and Nimi, a district champ that's 2 classes lower than them. And Nimi is a team that lost yesterday. And that criteria point, pretty controversial this year. Well, it's controversial every year. Coaches don't like it because you get credit if you beat a district team that's lower than you. But this year it was real controversial because a lot of districts didn't even get to play outside their district.
Yeah, I think they've got to argue. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and then for Las Cruces, the playing the chip on the shoulder, I thought William Benjamin, he was having some fun on Saturday night. But this team, are they better than they were last year?
That's tough to say. I mean, you know, they got a kid playing at Lubbock Christian right now at the next level. So that's they're different. I'll tell you who's better is head coach's son, Will Benjamin Jr. He's dominating. He's the best player in the state of New Mexico, so that part's different. But I think they're just as strong as last year. I wouldn't go as far as to say they're better.
I think they had a hell of a gripe. Defending champs, I mean, whatever the criteria were, they're undefeated, they're defending champs, and with no out-of-district play or very limited out-of-district play. I mean, I look and I'm not watching it nearly as closely as you are, but when I saw those come out, them sitting at the 3 seed, I think they got a heck of a gripe.
You know, the thing, with that 3 seed, and I talked to Coach a little bit after the show, yeah, I mean, you feel slighted, you feel disrespected, but they were by far on the easier side of the bracket. They would have faced, they got Los Lunas in the first round, which ended up being a real tough test, but they would have faced the winner of Roswell and Carlsbad. So, I mean, I don't think he had that many complaints, as it turned out.
All right. As we go through this, Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks is with us, and I want to start, at the 5A boys. What Cleveland did last night, I think, at Trisco and Sandia was a bigger spread than I assumed it would. As you narrow it down now to the Final Four of this, do you expect chalk, or now do you expect? Because I just from the little bit I've seen, I don't know that there's a huge separation between at least the top 3.
No, you're right, Jeff. There's not. And Trisco and Cleveland are so familiar with each other. You know, they've traded wins in district. I'll tell you what, I know you talked about the separation between Sandia and Trisco. That didn't happen until the end of the game. Once the Trisco kind of had the win in hand, then they had a couple alley-oop dunks and stuff at the end that, covered, if you will. But that was a much tighter game.
Now, Sebastian, in this matchup this season with Cleveland and Trisco Heritage, there are standout players on both teams. But what is the difference? What's going to make that matchup between the Storm and Jaguars?
The difference is going to have to be Cleveland's defense. If Trisco comes out and hits 12 threes and Isaiah Brooks goes off for 31 points like he did last night, if they play as well as they did last night against Cleveland, they'll win the ball game. There's no doubt about it. But Cleveland is a much better defensive club than Sandia, so I don't anticipate the freedom offensively for a Trisco on that night. It's going to be a Trisco's guard play against Cleveland's defense. That's the matchup.
And Sebastian, we go down to 4A. I think a lot of people might not really know much about Del Norte. What do they bring to the table as the 1 seed now in the semifinals?
Well, you're in luck, guys, because I am a proud alumni of Del Norte High, so I can tell you all about it. They have they got the best 2 guards in 4A. They have Shane Thomas Sanchez, and they have Judah Casals. And Shane's probably the best offensive player in 4A. Judah's probably the best defensive player in 4A. Then they have a third kid by the name of Feathers Valencia, and those 3 combined for 50. So when you at that level 4A, when you already got 50 right there between your top 3 players, you're going to win a lot of ball games. They defend, they like to get out and play in transition. They're a very loose, free-flowing team. Coach McIntosh doesn't really rein them in, lets them play, and that style has always worked for them. And they got Espanola now in the Final Four. Coach McIntosh has beaten Espanola twice since he's got to Del Norte at Espanola. This time it's a home game for the Knights.
You talk about home games, and this is one of the things where this would have been a day, tomorrow to go out and watch some of these games, because I think the matchups would be so great in the pit. Del Norte, Espanola, and watching all the fans that Espanola brings. Gallup brings a ton of people to play Artesia. Those would have been great. The difference in home court advantage, it feels like it would be tangible, Sebastian, this year, to play these quarterfinal, semifinal games at home as opposed to the neutral site and play in University Arena.
Oh, there's no doubt. I did the Atrisco-Sandia game, and
there's no, and then Sebastian disappeared. All right, so what I heard, JJ, is him agreeing with us, right? As far as not only is it just not the experience for the young men, the young ladies, but it's the advantage for that home team, which we've not seen at the state tournament level. I mean, since I've been here, certainly. You play that first game at home, the round of 6.
Well, you have less upsets. You can see it, so it's proven by the fact that there's less upsets.
All right, yeah, and I'm going to ask you, just Sebastian, your phone completely cut out. We lost you, so I'm going to we go back into a little bit, just talking a little bit about what the home court advantage means, please.
Yeah, I think it's shown that it's huge. Atrisco's was big last night. That's traditionally they have one of the better home crowds in APS, and that was. Yeah, no, it's a big difference. The coaches I've talked to, they said it's made a difference. They point to that reason why there haven't been as many upsets.
Yep. What should we be watching on the girls' side?
Well, man, how about Volcano? What Volcano Vista did to La Cueva last night. Don't count Las Lunas out yet. I know they had a hiccup last night against, taking Cleveland to double overtime there. That might be the only bad game they have, but it's looking more and more like we're going to get that hot Volcano Vista showdown. I know JJ can speak to that.
Yeah, I'm with you on Las Lunas. That was a tough game for them, but credit to Marty Zeller and the Tigers as well for moving that game to Cleveland so fans could be in attendance. They were the higher-seeded team, and then they go out there to Rio Rancho, have a tough battle, but they have a senior backcourt, and this time of year you look at who's been there, who's done that, who's going to create. That's Mia Guest. That is Doodle Hohola for the Tigers, and they get to run it back against Hobbs. Hobbs ran them out of the building in the first game of the season. Now, the Tigers will tell you why. They had like half the team playing a volleyball game, but Hobbs doesn't care. They got the victory there, and they're going to come in with a ton of confidence. And, man, Volcano Vista, watching Natalia Chavez, who got offered by Colorado State last week, the junior, is just fantastic. One of those players that immediately stands out and going, yeah, that's someone that's just different on the floor.
Hey, let me ask you this, man.
Yeah. Then that defense, JJ, La Cueva just couldn't adjust to it.
A regular season volleyball game versus state tournament basketball game. Why would the players opt for volleyball? I understand that we're in a tight crossover season.
No, it was the first game of the season. So that was the Tiger first basketball game of the season. They played
I got it.
Volleyball game that morning, and there's plenty of crossover between the Tigers basketball team and volleyball team, and then they went to Hobbs and got beat handily.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking for some reason, and now as it plays out in my mind, it makes sense. All right. So you guys, you're on a collision course there. Hey, Sebastian, players, if fans, and Saturday's the day, obviously, to go out if you're going to go to the pit and you can get in, but players that people should be watching, exciting, and you just hit a couple of them. But for those who kind of wait around till the state tournament and kind of get involved and say, I want to go see some of the best players, who are the can't-miss players?
Oh, sure. That's good. That's a good. William Benjamin, Deuce Benjamin, his son down in the Cruces. Caden Self, 6'11" kid. He's got a D1 offer from Cruces. If you haven't seen the Cleveland boys play, obviously Trey Watson, Nate Asbury. On the girls' side, you want to see that Hobbs team. Wisdom Anthony, Smith. And I know this year is different because ticketing is going to be done by sessions. So they are going to clear out sessions, so you can't just park it all day at the pit like you used to be able to. So that's a bit unfortunate. But, yeah, no, that's just a great day to get out and watch some really good basketball talent.
All right. And you guys got a bunch of shows. You did the selection show. JJ, you were part of that over on ProView Networks. On ProView, people can get it. Let people know how to get it and what they can watch. And then some of the other shows, it's not just the games that you guys have going on there. You've got a lot of content, including your show.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Comcast Channel 26, all of our stuff's on YouTube. had an interview on my show this week with Siembieda big man Sean Johnson. We were talking basketball. We were talking sneakers. We were talking video games. That kind of blew up on social media the night the show came out. All of a sudden, you have every notable boys basketball player in the state just talking about NBA 2K and how they're better than each other. So that was kind of cool.
Nice. That's really cool. All right, get ProView Network. Sebastian, appreciate the time. I know you'll enjoy the week. Have good calls this week and listen to them over on ProView Networks. We'll catch up with you next week.
Sounds good, guys. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks. And JJ, I mean, you guys are doing great work over at ProView. You're part of that team over there, and just tons and tons of content. But it's not just quantity. The quality of it has been terrific. And what Aaron and Josh and Alden and J. Pole and you guys are producing over there is terrific. Be proud of it. I know you are. But this is just a gigantic week for all of you guys associated with ProView.
The ProView guys are fantastic. The entire crew, what they do to put on all the games, produce the games. I'm just happy to be able to take a step up and call more basketball games this season because it's a lot of fun.
That's good. All right, 246-0610, 888-922-0610. It's yours the rest of the way. We'll get more into some of the NBA stuff. I got some little basketball for you. We haven't touched on Night of Champions last night either. We'll do all of that on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
He's coming high and hard with the right hand. Local talk today at 4, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
You know, JJ, one thing I neglected to do with Sebastian today is let him know that Lance wants his suits when he dies.
But that's just the great conversation starter. Oh, by the way, when you die, there's a guy that wants your suits.
Yeah, dude. He likes the way you dress, and he wants your suits. Oh, okay. Thanks to Sebastian for that. 505-246-0610 if you want to come in now. 888-922-0610. It will be yours the rest of the way. Bad Street says Lancer is the OD answer. Jeff, I'd like to see Loopy behind the wheel of one of those Indy cars, or maybe not. Yep, maybe not is probably the answer to that. Got an email this morning on Lobo basketball, and it's probably a day late because I think I sent the bat signal out for it yesterday. But Mean Machine says, Jeff, where's the playing time going to come from? Do these guys commit before they even look at the roster anymore? I was researching Dick Pitino's history at Minnesota yesterday, and he sure didn't look like a guy that goes deep into the bench. He plays 7 or maybe 8, and that's it. A lot of the folks are piling in the door now are going to be unhappy players sitting on the pine next November and December. This is your email in some form every year, and it always seems to work itself out, doesn't it? Whether it's injury, performance, academics, suspensions, it always seems to work its way out during playing time, doesn't it? And this is why you stock the roster the way you do and overstack it, because you never seem to have enough. And we always sit here in the offseason and say, wow, they got a bunch of scoring. Man, there's not enough basketballs. And where's all the playing time coming from? And it seems invariably we sit here in January and say, who's going to score, right? So I'm not really too worried about it. And it sounds like a first world problem to me.
Yeah, that was unfortunately the theme about 3 of the 4 seasons for Paul Weir's basketball team. And now you look at players coming back, it's pretty easy. You expect House and Mashburn and Jenkins to probably take over in the starting spots. And then it's going to be Francis or Singleton or the depth who's going to earn those starting spots. And it's still up in the air because Todd is transferring in. He played 17 minutes a game at TCU, so he's going to be in a battle, but it's what you have to do. There were spots open. You take a step back and you start dissecting it, and you realize initially it kind of feels overwhelming by how many commitments they got. It was just like bam, 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 bam. But it's what this team needed. They needed an influx in scoring. They needed playmakers in the backcourt, and it looks like at least they got 3 for sure guys, and the rest it's up for grabs.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly the lineup's going to be. I love having a shooter coming off the bench, and if it's Todd, then I've got a guy who can shoot coming off the bench. The JUCO that they just signed 2 days ago, the last one, KJ.
Yeah, Jenkins definitely feels like he's that dude.
Yeah, and so I love that. Look, I'm not honestly, of all the things I would be concerned about level basketball, where's the playing time coming from really isn't my concern. Competition is good. It makes them better. one guy will push the other, and the cream will rise to the top. And I get that email multiple times every off season, and every single January, and sometimes in December, we're sitting here saying, who's going to score? They don't have a score, right? I mean, even last off season, you were concerned, well, where's all the playing time coming from? Where are the scholars? It will work itself out. It always does. When was the last time we had a guy that you thought should be playing more, that didn't play more, that got upset about his playing time, that we're sitting around, oh, he's not getting enough playing time? I mean, who was it? Thank you. See, I mean, it always gets there. There were some freshmen. Who's the other guard when Anthony Jackson was here? There was another point guard. And you said, well, maybe the other point guard should be playing, or what are the, how we get some playing time on point guards. Was it Drew? Okay, Drew Drennan. Yeah. All right, I'll give you a little Drew Drennan. All right, maybe. But I don't know that there were people clamoring to say, oh, Drew Drennan's got to be playing.
Not at that point.
No. And then he left. So I just, with all the issues you got, man, I got 99 problems, man. And that ain't one. It ain't one. All right, Tom Brady evidently said, JJ, that he would trade 2 of the Super Bowl victories for that perfect season. And I hear people dissecting, oh, no, he wouldn't. Maybe he would. He'd still have more than Montana and more than Bradshaw, right? He'd still have 5, and he'd have the perfect season. I'm sure he would. Yeah, you don't get to pick and choose what your accolades are and what your achievements are. You go out and you earn them. But that, I think, shows something that I think has been unspoken since the Giants beat them in that crazy Super Bowl, that being undefeated, that getting on that shelf with the Miami Dolphins in 1972 did mean a lot to him. That piece of history did mean a lot. And honestly, JJ, I believe him when he says I would trade 2 Super Bowls. He would now maybe he wouldn't have said it. Maybe he would have said 1.
Ask him if he trades 6 for the undefeated.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't do that.
It's like, would you trade in 3 of your Mercedes to have 2 Mercedes left, and one of them be the most expensive one ever made?
Okay.
What?
Well, it's somewhat like that. Now, no, I think what he's saying is he'd still have 5, right? Still more than anybody, and he'd have that. I don't know if this was unprompted. Do you know in what format that was mentioned? Was that? I mean,
I believe it was. He was with Shannon Sharp doing something during NFL draft. Just one of those talking back and forth, just throwing hypotheticals out there. But that's one of those questions where it's like, of course, that's an easy answer. Sure, I'd love to still have 5 Super Bowls in an undefeated season. Make him think a little bit. Say, all right, let's take away 6 of those rings.
No,
is that worth it for an undefeated season? No.
Yeah, then the answer is no. But he's got, and maybe it was phrased as, what would you trade to have that undefeated season? I'd give up 2 of them. Yeah, give up 2. I'd still have the most, and then have that undefeated. Now, would you give up 3 to be tied with Montana and Bradshaw? That would be where you think a little bit, huh? All right. Well, I've got one thing that they don't, and that would be the undefeated season. But I look, and I see the dissecting. Well, no, we wouldn't. Yes, he would. Who cares? If he said he would, then he would. This is one of those things where everybody loves to tell me what a guy's thinking and what did he really mean. And typically, a guy's going to tell you what he really means. And it's something like this. I'm sure that was not an absolute off-the-cuff comment. That's something that certainly Tom Brady's thought about before. I don't know that he's ever said it publicly. And if that's how he feels, good for him. And if he felt the other way and said, no, I wouldn't do it, I like 7, then good for him. He didn't have to pick which 2 he'd give away, did he? He didn't say this one wasn't as special or that wasn't as special. It would be the Seahawks one, right? Because they somewhat stole that, although it was a great play by Malcolm Butler. But I see people losing their mind over it. Oh, I'm sick of Tom. No, you're not sick of Tom. First of all, you're not sick of Tom Brady. All these years he didn't say anything. You said you were sick of Tom Brady. Now every once in a while says something. You're not sick of Tom Brady. You're going to miss Tom Brady when he goes away. I think people are loving. Do you think I'm wrong? People are loving this Tom Brady that they despise because he wins, and now for the first time he's kind of talking about winning.
Well, this is a perfect talking head question. I just don't think, like, the premise of the question doesn't get me excited. So you trade 2 rings for an undefeated season, you still have 5.
Yeah.
Like, to your point, all right, take away 3. How many would you give up? Like, how important is the undefeated season? Because what makes Tom Brady is the amount of rings. Not, like, Tom Brady could have an undefeated season, 1 ring, and we wouldn't talk about Tom Brady.
He'd be Bob Greasy.
It's the amount of rings, yeah.
Yeah, at that point, he'd be Bob
So
Greasy.
the number of rings, to me, matters more than 1 undefeated season.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So I wouldn't trade any of them for that.
See, I would trade the 2. I would. You still have more than anybody else, and now you're like only one other dude, Bob Greasy, that's got the undefeated season. So I would say, yeah, give me more than. Now, somebody at some point could then catch you. It would be easier to catch you. 7, JJ, I don't want to say.
Because he can pull the LeBron. He did it. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6. How about 7?
7. Yeah. And he didn't even have to say it. He just did it. He didn't even have to say it. He just did it. And what? I'm going to tell you this. I'm enjoying this Tom Brady retirement tour. And if it's just 2 years down there, if this is it. And by the way, do we think this is it? Is this it for Tommy? He went down and signed a 2-year deal. Is this it?
No, because he extended the deal.
So we got 2 more years of this?
It did something to work out. He's not in his final year.
All right, however long it is, let it be. I'm loving a guy who has earned the respect of everybody the way he's played football, who can do absolutely nothing. Let's be very, very clear. Tom Brady at some point is going to diminish. His last year is probably going to be one of those where you're going to go, that's not how I want to remember Tom Brady. And the answer is then don't. It's up to you how you're going to remember him. But I am enjoying this Tom Brady retirement tour. I'm enjoying the comments that come from Tom Brady, the stuff that's coming from him that you just never got in New England. Because it's cheesy, it's borderline funny, and to me, I'm entertained. And bring it as much as you can, because it's one of those things where I think you're going to miss when it's gone. You can tell me how much you don't like Tom Brady, but it's hard, I think, not to enjoy what's going on. 505-246-0610. The opening drive is on ProView Networks and on your radio. That's how you get in. You can send an email, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. And you should go to F45 if you want to work out. That's what you get yourself back into shape, because what it's done to JJ is phenomenal. Have you seen JJ
I was looking
Buck?
at 941 instead of 927 on my little cheat sheet here. So yeah, let me tell you about F45 Functional Fitness. With F45 Functional Fitness, you can create your own gym identity. You can take control of your fitness, and with F45 you're going to be able to do it in a manageable time frame. 45-minute classes, high intensity, fast, fun, and results driven full body functional workouts. For me, I'm not someone that when it comes to cardio, I want to spend a ton of time on a treadmill or an exercise bike. It just doesn't do it for me. But when you have these high intensity cross training workouts, you get strength and cardio. And when you have your heart rate going up and down, that's what you want, up and down, the sets, the different rep tempos, your fitness level is going to start to skyrocket. And it has with me getting back to F45. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app to take a look at the classes at the Northeast Heights location. You can also sign up for your 7-day free trial on the app so you can get in and check it out. Classes are available 7 days a week, also Saturday and Sunday morning if you need to catch up from your busy week. But they have something that is there for you, and it's time to take control of your health when it comes to fitness, and F45 can help you do that. They're located 5920 Holly Northeast, so it's good access from wherever you're coming from. In town, certified trainers every class. They're great, help motivate and modify if needed. So you get in the gym and your focus is just going to be on that workout. Boom, it's up on the screen. Let's get it. Let's have some fun, and let's get it done in 45 minutes. So check them out, f45training.com. Download the F45 app. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Looks like Lauren McKinley with the ball right there, just into the game. Banks one off the window.
Lovato Lovato spins. Lovato going to get all the way to the basket over Gilliford. It's the ball handler. Lovato's so good he only needs one shoe. Seiss just picked his pocket. Transition and one on a strong finish for Gabe Seiss.
He will smack that one to center field. This one's going, it's going, and that is home run for Kiana King. For today, 2 games, 4 official at-bats. She has 4 home runs. King adding more to the board.
Back to Stanridge. Stanridge going to go strong. No, look, underneath. Beautiful pass there to Ethan Chavez. No good. Offensive rebound for Ayers, and he beats the horn. Exodus Ayers steals the offensive board, and he beats the buzzer, and we got a 1-point game here. District on the line at Sandia. It's halftime here on ProView Network. Lovato trying to go all the way. Lovato, tough angle. It's going to count. And it's a chance at a 3-point play for Lovato. Steal by Wade. Wade will slam it in transit.
Touch the ball for them and big look.
Pacheco, the lob, slam dunk. The lob to Wade, it's a slam dunk and a timeout. Valley right away, and great job by Pacheco in finding Wade in the open court.
Ladies, how does it feel? Let's come in here a little bit. How does it feel to hit the 1,000 point mark here at Volcano Vista?
You're going to get some NBA tonight. LeBron James out for at least 2 more games, according to a report in the LA Times. And how much longer? Saw the headline on my TV today, and I think this will do nothing but fuel LeBron James. It said, is this the beginning of the demise of LeBron James? And I think that's asked simply because he's, was he 35, 36? And over the last 2 seasons now, the last 3 seasons, you have seen 2 significant injuries to him. So I imagine it's a fair question. My feeling is it will do nothing but absolutely motivate this man who is as fierce a competitor as we've seen. He is 36 years old. At some point, the only guy undefeated is Father Time, and we know that. And he has not slowed down. When he plays, he doesn't slow down, right? There's no regression in his game. But the fact that you're watching an injury now sideline him for at least 22 games of a season, if he wins a championship, there's no conversation, right? It's over. But is it a fair conversation, or do you think it's just talking head fodder?
It's talking head fodder because who won the NBA championship last year? It was LeBron James and the Lakers. This is exactly what happened with Tom Brady. When he threw that pick six against the Tennessee Titans in the playoffs, Tom Brady was done. Father Time had caught up with him. It's time for New England to move on. Tom Brady has nothing left. The injuries are real. And yes, it's happened to LeBron James, but also came back and won a championship. And that is why I'm still holding out that when that dude is on the court, what you said is he still performs. But it's all about availability. This isn't about skill. It's just availability with LeBron James.
Yeah, I think it's similar, but to me it's a little different because the conversation on Tom Brady, people had decided after seeing that performance and that last pass as a New England Patriot, a pick six, people had decided his skills had diminished. People had decided that Tom Brady, at what he was at the time, 41 years old, I believe, was done. And with Tommy, that was a conversation that had happened borderline annually. And I always go back to, it feels like 5 years ago now, JJ, that Monday night game against Kansas City where they got blued out and it was the end of Tommy. And I know you and I sat here and said, just stop it. He had a bad game and looked bad, but it's not the end of Tom Brady. And he came back and won Super Bowls. The difference here is physical injury, to your point, the most important ability is availability as opposed to physical performance. LeBron's physical performance when he plays, I don't believe is diminished at all. But are these injuries age related? I don't know, man. I can't sit here and pretend to be Gary Vitti, the longtime Lakers trainer. I don't know if he's injured more and more severely because he's older. I mean, we all tend to be, and it's easy to equate. My gut tells me that guy's going to come back with a vengeance and is banking every one of those headlines and every one of these talking heads who says that, and is going to go on a scorched earth tour and be available for the playoffs, and him and Anthony Davis are going to make a deep run in the playoffs and maybe win another championship. That's what my gut tells me. Watching him play, I see a guy with another 3 to 4 years at a really high level, don't you?
Absolutely, because there is no drop off with LeBron James,
right?
The basketball player. When you see him on the court, he's still efficient. He puts the ball where it needs to be. He has the physicality.
And Terry.
He has the athleticism. So that's not in question. It's just, is he going to be on that court?
Yeah, I think that's right. All right, 505-246-0610. Let's go to it. Terry. Good morning, Terry. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. How you living, Terry?
Doing well. Good morning, gentlemen. Hope you guys are all feeling well. So I have to go to full disclosure, put on my black hat. This will make JJ kind of upset, but I go back to when Alex got my daughter some tickets, and she got to hang out in the hotel bar with Alex and Kate Upton's husband. So, maybe I take it a little easier on the Astros. I think it'd be kind of a little irony if A-Rod and Clemens would show up and lead the cheating cheers, for the Yankees. But, this is where I come from. I still think back where all the catchers deaf, because I'm trying to think of my playing days that, if you come into the clubhouse and go, every time I call a curveball, I hear this banging on the trash can that maybe something was up way before it was finally disclosed. But, I kind of lost a little bit on baseball when Football Head, and my apologies to the Hey Arnold cartoon, but when Football Head was going out to break the all-time home run record, and the stands were full. We all knew what was going on, but it was like everybody was still out there going to watch it. So I thought, maybe the ethics and morals of baseball are not much there. But, it's good to hear Lance. Hope he's doing well. Kind words from Edward. Hall of Fame, no. I tried to just keep my calls above the Mendoza line. And from Bob, I think Bob's maybe the Deion Sanders, or trying to be the Deion Sanders of talk radio, going back and
playing
forth
football,
and doing it all at the same time. But, from that, try to add a little levity. But, yes, I wish baseball, from taking more serious. And, they got to deal with what they did, the Astros. But, time will move on. And you guys always have a great day. And like I said, Stephanie's doing a wonderful job. Glad she got some airtime, and I appreciate it because, when I was working many years ago, I could only listen to you guys and not call in. And actually, I got a nickname of Radio because I had to turn the radio in my office kind of sideways for it to come in. So the staff started calling me Radio. So I appreciated the show way back then, and I appreciate it now. So you guys have a great day. Enjoy your families. Be safe.
Thanks, Terry. Appreciate you. It's interesting. He equates the Yankee fan who cheered for A-Rod and Clemens who cheated in different ways. Look, I think most of us acknowledge that this was taken to a different level, and I will. Like Terry, I'll disclaim it too. Alex got my daughter and my mom and my nephew. It treated them with tickets and got him down on the field at Anaheim Stadium and saw batting practice. So I've got a soft spot too, but that doesn't mean they didn't do anything wrong.
I'm not saying Alex Bregman is not a good person. And there's a huge element of that for a lot of people. They're like, I'm friends with the family. I like this guy. He's awesome.
I love the kid.
Yeah.
Or the man now.
It's like,
man,
we're not.
Young man.
And here's the thing. No one took away baseball for them. No one took away money from them. You have to be called a cheater. Okay, that hurts. But did you do it or not? And you move forward.
Rudy, stay there. We got to hit this last break. We'll come back and get you. You can get in at 505-246-0610. We'll wrap this thing up strongly as we hit the stretch on the opening drive on ProView Networks at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks. Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning. Welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
I'm getting ready to go out there and enjoy opening day at the Big Ball Yard. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck back to it at area code 505-246-0610. Rudy, thanks for holding. Good morning, sir.
Sure. You know, I want to talk about Night of Champions because that's something that goes all the way back to Coach Franchione. They had a little video that they showed, you know, of some of the guys, and the good side of Facebook was being able to connect with Jeremiah Lovato. He's a youth coach now out in Santa Rosa and a teacher, and he brought a bunch of kids out there, and there he was setting the school record.
That's awesome. Before you go any further, I want you to finish. Those of you who don't know, Night of Champions was held last night at University Stadium. First time since Rocky Long left as head coach. It's the culmination of the spring conditioning for Lobo football, weightlifting, and a lot of school records are set. And so they brought the racks out to the stadium. Fans were able to go out there and watch the competition. And, you know, guys get pumped up. And when there's people cheering you on, you tend to lift more weight. And so I know there were a bunch of records broken last night.
There were. And you look at a kid like Bobby Cole, power clean 330 pounds. That's a running back that can just from a dead lift pull up 330 pounds. That's pretty amazing. Chad Alexander had a 550-pound squat. Now that's a 5'6" running back. Can you imagine?
JJ can do that working out at F45, right?
Maybe like 1/4 of it.
All right.
Yeah.
Right now.
I mean, when you start thinking about these weights that these guys are throwing up, Corey Hightower, you know, there's a kid. I think he's 5'11", 185 pounds. And he power cleaned 300 pounds. So that really, what I love about Night of Champions is people get to come out and see these guys without their face masks, without, you know, uniforms, in their shorts, and they show people what kind of dedication, effort it takes to lift that kind of weight. I mean, years ago I lifted weights, and it's a hard thing to do, and to get stronger. And they were only going at 90%. So think about that. There's a lot of guys on that team that are going to really improve. The one that made me really smile is Langston Murray. That kid's come so far. I think he was up to 350 pounds. He's down to 297. He can play. I mean, that's a guy that could really help us on the defensive line and has recommitted himself to this team. So you see stories like that. How can you not get excited? And then you see a kid like Bryce Santana. You know, that's one of our local kids, right?
Correct.
From right there in Las Lunas. He's a true freshman, and he squatted 565 pounds.
I'm glad they got that done yesterday. I'm glad that's back in because that was a big deal, and I think it'll become a big deal again.
It will. You know, changing gears, funny thing about legends, just when you write them off, they always seem to do something that makes them a legend.
Absolutely.
Tom Brady, look at Tiger Woods. How many times have people tried to write him off? They tried to write off Muhammad Ali. Couldn't do it, you know?
It's true.
So that's the crazy thing about these legends. So LeBron, go ahead and write him off. Say he's hurt. He probably is. But when it comes time to play in the playoffs, whatever he needs to do, I've always seen LeBron do it. Michael Jordan supposedly ate a bad pizza or was ill or whatever and went out and had one of the best games of his career. Wasn't it 50 points?
Yeah, they should do a 30 for 30 on that 10-part series or something.
Yeah, what makes a legend a legend? Tom Brady. I mean, how many times have people tried to write him off and say his career's washed up, and yet here he is standing there with 7 Super Bowl rings? And I don't know how facetiously he said that, because I agree with JJ. I wouldn't trade a Super Bowl for a perfect season ever. Never, ever, ever,
if
ever,
you had 7 of them, you wouldn't? Really?
No, I'd want 10. If I had 7, then I'd want 10, you know?
Oh.
And he can solidify himself as the best ever, no questions asked. And that's what does it, because that's the pinnacle. That's the ultimate, right? You win a Super Bowl. How many MVPs does that go with? 5, I think?
5 Super Bowl MVPs, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, 5 Super Bowl MVPs and 7 Super Bowl championships. So, I don't know. I'd say that's a pretty solid body of work for anybody.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. All right,
hey, guys, appreciate the time. Thanks.
That's good. JJ, it sounds like and I wanted to get out there last night. I just couldn't. We had lacrosse last night, but it sounds like by every measure, and there were a lot of measures, that Night of Champions was a success. That's I'm glad Danny's doing that. I'm glad that he's keeping football in the public conscious. I'm glad that he's out there. Not just, September, November, December, or whatever, August, September, November, but it's out there year round in a positive way.
Yeah, that's a big key to it, is still having that excitement in the spring. And then especially right now for these student athletes, football, they didn't get a chance to have any home games, any support. And then you get to spring, you have your spring game with fans in attendance. You have a moment like this in front of the fans. It's good to get that feeling back. Have some positive feedback for the work you're doing, and it's the little things. You want to stay relevant, because that means something good's going on. You don't fall away to the background, and that's key for local football. Continue to build. Danny's going to be great about always bringing the energy, doing things to keep them in the conversation, even in the offseason, and that's good for the program.
I think all that's right. All right, and then on the LeBron stuff, if you want to finish, I think Rudy put it the best I've heard it yet. It's the funny thing about legends. Every time you say they're done, they come back and do something special. The Tom Brady thing, and I never bought it, and you can go back and roll back the tapes. You and I never really got into that whole narrative, always done after a bad game against Kansas City or a bad game here, whatever. I'm one of the few people who believed Tiger Woods was going to come back and win another major. Roll back the tape. It was there. LeBron's not done. LeBron, is he on the decline? You could tell me he's on the backside. I'll listen to the backside at 36 years old. Okay. Decline is a tough one for me to accept when I watch the way that guy plays when he's healthy. Now, the issue is how severe are these injuries? From everything I've heard, and I don't know LeBron James, but doesn't he spend like $1 million a year just on body maintenance?
Yes.
If there's a well-conditioned athlete, and Tom Brady's right there too, right? It's amazing how these guys have that in common. What's your common thread? Well, we both go to crazy measures to take care of our bodies, or what would be considered crazy in other instances. He's not done. He's not done. And if you think this guy's not going to be there to make a run in the playoffs, I think you are horribly mistaken.
And I agree with that. When he is on the court, he still plays at a ridiculously high level. And yeah, there's some frustration, there's some concerns with the Lakers, but the one thing is, the playoffs start, he's on the court. Who are the favorites? It's that team.
Yeah, if there's a team that could care less about or couldn't care less about the regular season, that whatever, just get me through it. Let's entertain. Let me earn my money, and let's get ready for the playoffs. And now the season's going to start here in a couple of weeks. It's that team, and it might be Brooklyn too, but it's this team. I think they're going to be just fine. I don't know that I think they're going to win the championship this year, but I think that they're going to make a deep run. And maybe there's some of you think if they don't win a championship, they're not fine. Thanks to Josh Sushan and Sebastian Noel. Both of them spent time with us here today. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd will follow that. Sports Bar with Trulio and Carlisle this afternoon at 4. We'll be back with more award-winning radio for you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. It will be opening day. Enjoy your Cinco de Mayo. Steph, that was a pretty successful first solo run, wouldn't you say? Good work. Hey, Aaron.
Thank you.
Pretty successful 47th solo run for you. I mean, it was good. JJ, enjoy the day. What's your call tonight?
I got 2 semifinals, 2A girls, boys at St. Pius, 4 and 6 o'clock.
All right, watch him on ProView Networks. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you tomorrow.